Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back there, Day the Crypto News and Analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Luna. I have been reporting on Luna for the last couple of days, as you guys are probably all aware of, and the reason why I'm talking to you guys about it today is because we just got a pretty big, article released. It's regarding an investigation happening behind the entire Luna and UST situation, which I think is significant. We're going to be talking about why I do believe that investigation is actually going on, and we have a lot more things to talk about as well behind the Luna situation. So with that in mind, before we even jump into this video, I do just want to ask guys could hit that like button. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. And let's just dive in. Let's talk about a few things. So first off, let's talk about Luna. Now, obviously, a lot of people have been saying, hey, Luna is going to go back to $1. It's going to go back to this range, that range, whatever. In its current state, Luna is nowhere near going to go to $1. In fact, I don't even believe that it could go back to 1 cent at its current level. And that is because of the massive amount of inflation that we did see on the tokenomics. Of course, a lot of the printing of Luna did happen to try to save the peg of UST. Since then, the Luna team has given up on that. Do Kwon himself actually said that right now there's no point to try even saving UST. He also did mention that UST essentially is not even a part of the Luna, project itself. UST is not Luna, essentially. That's what he said. But if we talk about things happening around Luna, with this proposed Luna 2.0 and things like that, we've seen some updates around that. We've actually seen an actual voting process happen behind Luna 2.0, aka the fork behind it, and we've seen an update with that, and it does not look like that is going to be happening. I'm going to be sharing with you guys that as well. But honestly, let's talk about individuals saying, hey, Luna's going to $1. So first off, we do see here people still thinking Luna is going to touch $1 in its current state are bugging. It's like you almost hate reading. And yes, I do completely agree with this statement. I honestly don't believe that it's going to hit $1. I think that when we talk about this project, it is probably just killed entirely. I think that a lot of people have lost their faith and trust behind Luna, specifically even around Do Kwon himself. I know that there's probably going to be people in the comments saying, I haven't lost my faith. I still trust Do Kwon. I still trust the project. I think that it's going to be successful, blah, blah, blah. And that's most likely because you guys are probably reading things like this on Twitter where you see individuals saying, only future Luna millionaires can like this tweet. And these are people, having individuals FOMO into Luna right now, thinking that they are going to go and get rich. But honestly, if you think about it like this, right? If they try to burn the entire Luna supply that got created over the last couple of days since this situation did happen, all of those individuals aping in right now, that supply essentially will be burned as well. But also, that supply can't essentially be burned because it is already in custody, which means the only amount that could be burned is the amount that Luna themselves or Terra themselves printed. Now, behind the scenes, when we talk about where Luna would be at $1, I mean, this would be a 500 and almost 21,000% of an increase in price. It's not even the percentage increase in price that, matters, right? Because obviously, we've seen incredible moves in this market before. Maybe not 520,000% plus moves. Again, on the macro perspective, yeah, we have, but this is something that's illogical because not only is it incredibly unrealistic in terms of a percentage rate, but it is also illogical in terms of the market cap rate as well. This would have a market cap of $6.5 trillion, an upside of 5,439x. Just to put this in perspective with you guys, if we look at Bitcoin itself, this would put Bitcoin at $343,000. Ethereum would be $54,000. So that kind of shows you guys exactly why Luna in its current state cannot hit $1 range. And I have been seeing a lot of people talking about Luna going to $10, going back to $100. A lot of it is just kind of pure hopium. It's individuals putting in like, $10, getting, I don't even know how many tokens at this point, but getting that amount of tokens and then kind of multiplying it by $100, $10, $1, and then thinking that they're going to be, the next Jeff Bezos, if you will. And trust me, I'd love to have individuals, getting rich off of something like this. Maybe individuals that did get hurt by this getting rich off of this as well. I'd love to see that, but honestly, the possibilities of that happening are very slim to none. But we did see, again, this massive investigation being launched. South Korea launches emergency investigation into collapse of Luna and UST. South Korea's top financial regulators have launched an emergency investigation into the collapse of cryptocurrency Luna and stablecoin UST. The authorities have, asked domestic cryptocurrency exchanges to provide information relating to transactions and investors of the two coins. Now, this is most likely prompted by the idea that, themselves, right, Luna, LFG, had over 80,000 Bitcoin in the reserves, all the way down to 313. And there's still a large amount of Bitcoin unallocated for, which tells me that there's most likely going to be an investigation into insider trading. Behind this, I actually just talked to you guys about an insider job possibly being the major thing around this situation yesterday. But we are seeing down here, South Korea has launched an emergency investigation of domestic crypto exchange operators following the collapse of the Terra USD, stablecoin UST, and Terra Luna, cryptocurrency. And we do see they reported on Tuesday, citing unnamed sources. We do see last week financial authorities asked for data on the amount of transactions and investors and sized up the exchange's relevant measures. So this could get pretty interesting very fast, especially when you are talking about, investigation going on behind the scenes and really kind of looking into those transactions. If we do see the fact that, LFG themselves was selling, Bitcoin into this massive crash, and there was a massive amount of insider trading going on behind the scenes as well, this would instantly draw a massive regulatory shift around crypto, which again, I've been talking to you guys about, the regulatory shifts around stablecoins as well around this situation specifically. I think they did it to draw up measures to minimize the damage to investors in the future, the exchange official said. The information requested by the authorities include trading volumes, closing prices, and numbers of relevant investors. The publication noted, adding that the regulators also asked the exchange operators to provide their countermeasures to the recent crypto market crash and analyses of the cause of the collapse. UST and Luna were invented by Kwon Do, aka Do Kwon, a South Korean national. His company, Terra Labs, is incorporated in Singapore. Since the collapse of the two cryptocurrencies, Kwon has come up with a few plans to revive the coins, but none have worked so far. And honestly, I don't believe that we will see any updates around this specifically that would, again, revive the coin. I think that the coin itself and the project itself is basically a wash at this point. And the reason why I say that is essentially because we've seen this article come out as well today. When is Terra Luna hard fork launching? Here are the details. And well, I talked to you guys about this yesterday as well in terms of this fork coming. A lot of people were speculating on what percentage they would essentially get in terms of the LUNC coin, but it looks like this is not going to be happening. And the reason why is because of the voting options that did happen. So we do see our Terraforms Labs founder Do Kwon is doing everything to bring Terra Luna back to life after it crashed to $0. Kwon is picking up the rubbles from the aftermath of the Terra UST and Luna tragedy and suggests a recovery plan to set things straight. Now, again, I talked to you guys a little bit about this yesterday. I don't need to talk to you guys about it too much today. As you guys do see down here, here's the update on that, as well as the token split that will essentially go on. Now, we do see the timeline down here. A tentative data, for the launch of Terra Luna hard fork is not revealed by Do Kwon yet. The development is under process with its first baby steps into production. Nonetheless, the Terra network proposal will, enter its first round of voting tomorrow, May 18th, Asia time. Post the first round of voting, the Terra Core release and launch instructions will be published on May 21st. Also, the time could be extended as essential developers will have time to register until May 25th. But when we look at this and we talk about things happening around here, or around this situation specifically, we do see here just in 90% of the participants in a preliminary vote are against Do Kwon's proposal to fork Luna, which is expected. I think that a lot of these individuals have lost full-on support and trust around this project. I mean, think about it like this, right? Even if you are a developer on the, Luna network, right? A lot of these ecosystem developers also took a major hit from this. I mean, a lot of their projects essentially took a massive hit as well. There's a lot more money involved here, just beyond the idea of just investing into Luna and holding UST. This aftermath of this, I really do think that this is going to result in probably one of the biggest crashes in crypto. And it's also going to be one of the biggest situations that do get a spotlight on from not only regulators, but also just around this market specifically. I think that the entire Luna situation is going to be looked back on and kind of compared and contrasted with new projects that do come out. I think that algorithmic stablecoins, the idea of that is essentially dead as well. I honestly think that in terms of this fork for Luna, I don't believe that this is going to save face. I don't think that's going to save the project. Again, I think that a lot of the trust has been diminished around this. In my opinion, I never really touched Luna before this situation happened. I took a little bit of a position just for a short trade to see what could happen. I did profit a little bit on that, and I took my residual income out that I put in, but it was just a quick trade. I would not be telling you guys to jump into this at all. I don't believe that this is going to bounce back the way that individuals think it's going to. I think that there's going to be a lot of individuals that are going to lose more money on this. Of course, that's just my opinion. I can only speculate too much, but it seems like a lot of the things happening around this situation are really kind of, being pushed towards, investigating the entire situation and really kind of coming down to what really happened behind the scenes. We talked a little bit about yesterday how this could have been an insider job. I don't really know exactly what happened behind the scenes. A lot of people speculated on BlackRock and Citadel. A lot of people speculated on regulators actually being the ones that attacked the situation. But, to me, it really could have been anything. I think that it is something that the real major issue around this is how much money was actually involved and tied into this situation. If it happened in the initial stages of, Luna and UST, then I don't believe that the aftermath would have been as bad. But, considering the fact that there was a large amount of money involved, I mean, you're talking about almost $80 billion. I mean, it was significant. So, again, with that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.